Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining me one more time. My name is Ziki and I'm here to give you some news updates, yes, from the motherland, Zimbabwe. Yes, now we have seen that the number of cases of COVID-19 in Zimbabwe, the number is increasing. And last week, after the announcement of the new variant, we also saw, the government announcing some new restrictions that include, the drinking of beer in bars, gatherings, and also, the curfew time, the opening and closing times of, of shops and all that. So now they've also announced another measure whereby they say they're going to be setting up, testing centers at bus stops. Those ones, bus terminuses for long distance buses and also for local buses, so that it becomes very easy for people to get vaccinated here. So if you've not yet been vaccinated and you didn't have the time or you didn't know where, well, it's now going to be convenient for you because they're going to be set close to the bus stops where people can be. The reason is that they announced yesterday that if you are not vaccinated in times to come, you might not be able to board buses or to commute. So they'll be asking for vaccination cards. So it is very important that each and every person gets vaccinated if it's possible, right? Unless we've got some underlying issues. So, everywhere around the world, things are just heading that direction, whereby people, whether they like it or not, because of the services you might require later, you'll be forced to be vaccinated. So if you get the opportunity, just get vaccinated and, be safe wherever you are, wear your mask, sanitize, maintain social distancing, yes. This thing is still with us. So this is the announcement that was made by the government yesterday, on top of already existing restrictions, whereby if you're not vaccinated, you're not allowed to drink beer in a nightclub, or you're also not allowed to eat in restaurants, and also the curfew time, everything like that, right? Anyway, so moving forward, but it's still with the issue of COVID-19, the Chiwenga Municipality, yes, Chiwenga Municipality has been closed after some workers there tested positive for COVID-19, so it has been closed. So they've stopped all face-to-face services and everything. So yeah, you might also want to get more information about that, especially if you live around the Chiwenga area and you might need to have the services of the municipality. You might want to check on that news because it has been closed due to COVID-19. Yes, now we do have more and more stories, but right now, please, if you have not yet subscribed, take this opportunity to subscribe to our channel and support us, all right, as we give you some updates that we think are important to you, all right? Anyway, so let's get back to more stories. We know the story of Mary Chiwenga and the VP, how they've been going back and forth. We've been following stories, and at one time Mary was remanded in prison, even though she was sick, and she got tested to see if she was fit to face the trial, and the doctor said, well, she was fit to attend to a trial. So the court hearing started. But then now it has emerged that this is the current news that has been released. It has emerged that the judges who were said to have, legalized Mary and VP's marriage have said that they were not part of it. They don't know anything about that marriage. Hence, there's saying that Mary faked a marriage certificate. So if this is the case, it means Mary faked a marriage certificate. She was never legally married to the vice president. So that story is getting twisted. But anyway, we're still following on the story to see what is going to come up. What does this mean for the divorce proceedings that are in the courts? What does that mean if the marriage was fake? So it means there was nothing there. So if the marriage, there was nothing there, so there's going to be some changes here and there, but we are following up on the story as it goes back to court. Yes, so Mary's issue has been a hell of a ride, So people are saying, well, if she did that, she's testing her own medicine. Others are saying, no, maybe they are just plotting, against her, as things are just pointing against her, right? So let's see what is going to happen as the court hearings proceed, okay? Now, on our next story. This one involves our Zimbabwean families who are in South Africa. We know they announced that they were not going to renew visas of Zimbabweans living in South Africa, and that they were just going to allow them to apply for general visas just like everybody else, but they were not going to be given the special permits. Now, a group of Zimbabweans called the Zimbabwean community in South Africa is now engaged the South African Department of Home Affairs seeking for a waiver of some of the requirements for obtaining permits following a decision by the country's government to discontinue the issuance of special permits of about 180,000 holders of Zimbabweans holding these permits. So the South African government, like they recently said they were not going to renew the visas, but then this group of the Zimbabwean community in South Africa, they've gone to engage the Home Affairs in South Africa to say, please, can you just relax the requirements so that a lot of Zimbabweans may be able to acquire these visas without any problems, okay? Because we know it's very difficult to apply for a visa. Sometimes the requirements that are needed, not many people will be able to meet them. But even though people want to be legal, but because of the requirements that may be very difficult, documentation and everything that may be required for one to get that visa, it might prove to be difficult. Hence, we find a lot of people again being illegal, which is very, again, bad, okay? So I'm going to read for you the statement here that was written. It says, we have written to the Director General in the Department of Home Affairs seeking that some requirements to obtain other permits be waived. For example, we have some professions such as teachers, journalists, among others, who are not listed under the critical skills, but they are working in South Africa. We are seeking that people who hold such professions may be allowed to apply for general working visas so that they may continue working. If a person is getting married to a South African or someone who has permanent residence, they obtain a spousal visa. When applying for a spousal visa, your partner should be earning a minimum of 8,500 rands, okay? So these are it's difficult, I didn't know about this, that you need to have a partner who is earning about 8,500 rands. Wow. It's quite difficult here. So he's saying, in our view, only a few will qualify to move to other permits because the majority of Zimbabwean exemption permits are people of low skill like domestic workers, drivers, among other people. Most people don't possess the required qualifications as per critical skills visas. If some of these requirements are not waived, then scores of people will return home after failing to secure work permits or relevant permits, okay? So this is the statement that was issued by the Zimbabwean community in South Africa when they were engaging the South African Home Affairs, saying, please, may you just do something, especially when it comes to the requirements for one to have a work permit or a visa, whatever kind of visa that one will be applying. So this issue is really big, right? It doesn't really affect those living in South Africa. It affects all of us because we one way or the other, we have people who are in South Africa who are working and supporting our families back home. So if these things are not really looked into, we're going to find some really big problems, okay? We're going to find some really big problems, yeah? In as much as many South Africans might celebrate that people need to go back home, they need to go back to and fix their country and this and that, but it's not as easy as it seems, okay? It's not as easy. It's not just like you pack your bags and go back home and everything will be fine. You start sweeping your country and cleaning it. No, it's systematic, it goes from one stage to another stage to another stage. But as those stages are being taken, all right, still people need to be eating, still children need to be going to school, still children need clothes. So I hope something is also going to be done to help those people so that we are not going to see the number of illegal immigrants in South Africa again increasing. Okay, they are already crying that the number of illegals in South Africa are too many. So if this thing also is not looked into, we're also going to see that this number is just going to also continue to go higher and higher. Anyway, so this is the update that I have for you for today. And like I said, if you are new to the channel, why don't you support us by subscribing and also sharing our videos and also giving us some advice on how we can improve in doing and presenting our videos to you. So until I come back again, please take care, be safe, sanitize, and remember, social distancing is not just a statement, but it's an action.